to block, no matter who's on him.
Now, here is Lawson. He had a 15-point outing in their last game against the Timberwolves in Minneapolis.
You know what was great, too, Kevin, was the way he balanced getting his own shots and making plays for others. Well, he hasn't had much success shooting the ball, but it's not too late for him to get it turned around and start contributing.
The feed to Bellinelli. Diaw, the screen. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. Since the All-Star break, this group has been on fire. Here are the field goal percentage leaders for the season's second half. You look at Mills, a great player, second in the league.
You know, sometimes getting on the All-Star team gives you a boost in confidence, and sometimes if you don't make it, it can refocus you and stir you up a little bit. This guy's been razor sharp since the All-Star break and is playing like a guy who wants to win.
That free throw, no good.
What is insane about the Spurs and how successful they are as a franchise is that in their entire franchise history, they've only missed the playoffs 4 times. That is absolutely remarkable.
And he sinks the second.
And with the Spurs in the playoffs, you can't even begin to think about a postseason without the Spurs being involved. Only 4 absences since 1976. That's incredible.
Now, here's Hickson. He had a 12-point outing in their last game against the Timberwolves in Minneapolis.
He shouldn't be afraid to take that shot more often. He's solid from there.
San Antonio leading by 3. We've got 1:18 left to play here in the first. Ginobili against Gallinari. And Ginobili, here we go. It's blocked. And here we go with Lawson, running it right up the court. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. Of course, with the Spurs, the last time they missed the playoffs, they drafted perhaps one of the best power forwards of all time in Tim Duncan.
Well, you know, he's a part of why they haven't missed the playoffs since. But the organization has run really well from top to bottom. And they deserve nothing but the success they've had since their inception because of that.
That's good from Harris. Drops them both.
Well, you can count on him, can't you? He seems to knock down free throws consistently all game long.
Now Mills. He hasn't scored yet. That, I'm sure, will change. Ginobili outside. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2.
Patty Mills last season had his best season ever. Really remade his body in the offseason, adding muscle, cutting down on his body fat. Already one of the quickest players in the league. He got even quicker.
And the first one at the line is good. And Mills getting quality minutes at the backup point guard position.
Yeah, and for a player who'd spent time in the D-League playing in China and his native Australia, it seems he's really solidified his place as an NBA player, Kevin, in part because he refocused on conditioning his body and really developed as an outside shooter, too.
And both free throws good for Mills.
Patty Mills is one of the first indigenous Australians to play in the NBA. Trained at the same Australian Institute of Sport that helped develop Andrew Bogut. He played his college ball at St. Mary's in the Bay Area and has really developed into a nice backup point guard.
San Antonio leading. Now 8 seconds separating the 2 clocks. He kicks it to Ginobili. 17 seconds left to play in the first quarter. And there's the call on Ginobili. That is his first foul of the game.
Well, I love it. He gets there first, absorbs the contact. Nice play defensively.
No flop there. He took that one right in the chest.
Here's Lawson, averaging 14 points a game. Lawson right side. Lawson right side. He got it up that time, but it wouldn't fall for him. And still a close game as the first quarter comes to a close. Spurs out in front. They lead by 1. And the second quarter about to get started. We'll be back in just a moment.
Tune in next Thursday, March 12th. LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers go up against Tim Duncan and the San Antonio Spurs. Be there.
And we got a close game here as we get back to the second quarter. And taking a look at San Antonio's performance here, Clark and Steve, what have they been doing or not doing?
And I like what they've done offensively, really attacking the rim, getting a lot of points in the paint.
And guys, they've been the aggressor early. I mean, attacking the hoop and getting into the paint, that can make the game really easy for you.
Denver's gone 3 of 5 from beyond the arc so far tonight. On the floor for Denver as we get going here in the second quarter. Gallinari is out there with Arthur. Then it's Will Barton. Then there's Foy. And it's Laverne in at the 5 down low. Now, here is Foy. 6 to shoot. Here's Gallinari. It's blocked. They recover it. Now, here's Joseph. Not a lot of room. Bellinelli. Barton with the rebound.
Boy, he really bungled that finish.
Passes to Gallinari. He feeds it to Ford. They set the pick. The Nuggets need to get a shot off here. They get the rebound. Some changes here for the Spurs. Leonard comes in for Marco Bellinelli. And Parker subbed in for Manu Ginobili. Fareed's checked in for Denver. Chandler comes in for Gallinari. Spurs shooting 53% from the floor. They're locked in. Parker right side. Pass to Joseph. Now the dish to Butler. Leonard on the wing. Shot clock at 6. Left side, Leonard. GL with it. Now guarded by Fareed. For Denver, they've gone 0-3 and are still looking for that first bucket here in the second quarter. Barton kicks to Laverne. Here's Barton, covered by Parker. That puts them in the lead. Barton's got the first points up on the board here in the second quarter for the Nuggets. San Antonio trailing here. Let's go to our sideline reporter, Doris Burke. Doris, what do you have?
Well, Kevin, as you know, Tony Parker is now an elder statesman in the NBA. His father feels as if he's been a mature force since he started playing at the French Training Institute. Parker's father said, quote, "I don't think you can get any more mature than that. Leaving home at 14, you have to become a man on your own." Guys?
Thanks, Doris.
Tremendous dedication to the game. It's great to remember just how far he's come.
The defense better not make a habit of giving him that shot. I mean, he doesn't miss many of them.
Parker kicks to Leonard. Goes to the fadeaway and pins it. And now it's a 3-point Spurs lead. And so here's Denver. Following this one, they get to host the Rockets. That'll be the first of 4 played at home for them.
And no doubt the Houston fans really want to see their Rockets take that one. That's a good matchup there.
Now here's Chandler. He's coming off a 13-point game against Minnesota.
And how about his defense? 4 steals on the night. He was so aggressive.
Here's Parker. Diaw dishes to Leonard. Took the opportunity when he saw it. Leonard's got 4 points in the quarter.
He shot the ball exceptionally well as they've built this lead for themselves here.
They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Sure could, Kev. I mean, too many empty trips. They need some points.
Chandler, the pass to Foy.
That's the kind of defense required when he's got the ball near the hoop. They were right in his face.
Leonard with no one around. And he tries off the glass, but it's no good. The Nuggets trail by 5. Here in the second quarter, just under 3.5 minutes played. A shot by Foy. San Antonio's gone 0-2 from deep here in the second. Parker outside. Pass to Joseph. Back to Parker. Goes up on the wing. Another miss by Parker.
Well, his shot's been off today, no question. He's not the guy they're going to want to look to if they want to keep this lead where it is.
Here's Foy. Good on the 13-footer. And it's now only a 1-point Spurs lead.
You know, he's got a quick trigger from that range when he senses that the defense has backed off.
So much can be said about the Spurs' dominance as a franchise. I mean, 15 straight years of winning 50 games or more during the regular season. You know, last year, they were at least 500 or better against every other team in the league, and they have been since 1976.
Shot clock at 3.
It seems like nothing is falling for him this quarter. He's really out of his rhythm.
Chandler with the ball. He has 5. In low to Fareed. And out of bounds as San Antonio gains possession. And here are the top free throw shooting teams this month. You don't want to put these guys in the line too often. In 4th, the Spurs.
Yeah, they've had a lot of success from the free throw line, so I would look for them to continue to attack the rim.
And San Antonio shooting is definitely lagging at the moment. They're just 30% in the second quarter. Parker outside. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here. And guys, think about the history of the Spurs. They didn't even come into the NBA until 1976 when they made the transition from the old ABA.
Well, you talk about a fan base that is spoiled. I mean, nearly 40 years of beating every team in the league, more than they've been beaten by those teams. So just an incredible record.
That free throw, no good.
Tony could well be the best point guard penetrator in the game. I mean, he's great at finding the seam and getting the ball up and off glass before the shot blocker can recover. And once the ball hits the glass and comes off, it's a no-touch zone for the defender.
Splitters checked in for San Antonio. Duncan comes in for Boris Diaw. And the second free throw, good.
And Parker with the quickness to win that race to the rim, and then his great touch.
Oh,
ridiculous.
What a move.
Tore it down that time. I don't know that this is the time for that kind of flair. In a close game, the important thing is the 2 points, not the dramatics.
Oh, come on, Clark. He had to go for it, didn't he?
I'm with you, Kevin. You can't fault him for that. I mean, just let him go. Who cares?
San Antonio with the ball. Denver getting their last shot to go. 3-pointer. Rebounded by Fareed. Fareed's got 4 rebounds now tonight.
Poor shooting from him this quarter. His shooting percentage nowhere near where he'd like it to be.
Now here is Harris. 6 points for him. And Foy kicks to Chandler. Wilson Chandler, a versatile forward, Steve, in his 7th season out of the DePaul.
I like him, Kevin. I mean, strong enough to play inside, quick enough to guard on the perimeter, and then he's got that 3-point range on his shot. So very versatile player.
And Wilson Chandler, 2 seasons now removed from hip surgery, showing no ill effect last season as he started at the small forward spot in the place of the injured Danilo Gallinari.
And that one falls, and that puts him up by 1 point.
What you like about Chandler, an inside-out scoring threat, and He's an explosive finisher around the rim, too, with shooting range that stretches out beyond the arc.
Spurs making a switch here. Green's checked in. Norkic checked in for Denver.